across this country, streets, neighborhoods, and parks have been named after this great civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I ask, why do we place the name in some of the worst neighborhoods? And why we put his name on a flagpole when we allow morals and principles and standards to be lower than the sign itself? This is the interpretation of King's dream. I've heard of many stories, but this man wasn't one for fame or glory. And as long as we live, we will always hear of the legend of King. But wouldn't it be a shame for us to live using the man's name and then die without even knowing the interpretation of his dream? He climbed up to the top of the mountain, glanced over and viewed the promised land, but he would turn over in his grave as if he were in a daze if he could see how we the American people have gotten out of hand. He was struggling for the equality of mankind. That's why he became an activist for civil rights. Non-violence, he cried, non-violence, he cried, but you know it was violence that took his life. If he were here today, these are the words I believe he would say. We're supposed to consist of a many different people, uniting our power together to form one mighty force. We're supposed to be totally combined in spirits and minds. However, we're supposed to allow every individual their choice. United means that we all join together, for we suddenly become as one. We share our faith, whatever the state, we must share in sorrow, misfortune, and fun. Now the old and young must pull together to bridge the gap of eternal separation. We must destroy segregation which has polluted our land and stand firm against the walls of discrimination. United means that we all join together. A state is an established condition. We're supposed to be all for one and one for all, regardless of the circumstances and opposition. We're supposed to stand together against the state of hunger. That's why so many countries we feed. We're supposed to stand together against the state of disaster and go to the aid of those countries in need. We're supposed to be one in love which come from above. That's why our country is blessed. That's why you and I through these spacious skies must thank God for joy and happiness. We're supposed to be one in the time of war, together in the time of peace. We're supposed to be one when we're victorious in battle, then when we suffer the agony of defeat. We're supposed to be one around the conference tables when it comes time to make that final decision. We're supposed to be one, our theories, our concepts, and our opinions. We're supposed to be one in our many religions. We're supposed to be one in many ethnic groups, languages, and one of many colors. For we're one of a kind and can't be compared to any other. However, we must not allow ourselves to become corrupted and our hearts filled with selfish greed, posing a threat to our own constitution and casting a dark shadow over the American creed. We can't cut the poor off welfare because by some the funds have been misappropriated. We can't cut the old off of Social Security because they served the country loyal, faithful, and most of all they were dedicated. We can't refuse shelter to those who are embarking upon our shores every day. We can't close our eyes and push the needy aside because that's just not the American way. Old Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a job to do, and he couldn't pacify all of us, but we were supposed to be united as he led us, proclaiming in God we trust. He knew that we could make it through depression or recession if we had to eat out of one another's plates. Why? Because we were supposed to be just common, ordinary people united in every state. So stand tall, fellow Americans. Stand tall and educate yourselves and love one another, and you can stand second to none. Though gloom it may seem, we must live out this man's dream. And if we live long enough, if we live long enough, if we live long enough, we will overcome. I'm the street witness, and that's the interpretation of the King's dream. Make us one. Make us one.